Okay, looks like we're recording. My name is Jason Price, Director of the Library at Frank Phillips College, otherwise known as your boss. Okay, and so I just wanted to go over a few of the things regarding how we check books in and out, how we charge people, how we can look stuff up to see what's actually on our shelves or what other libraries have, and the program that we do uses called Workflows. Now, for whatever reason, if you're sitting at a computer and it doesn't have it, let me know and we'll get it installed. But whenever you first click on it, it should bring up a screen that looks like this. Now, all of this should be pre-filled, but every once in a while, for some reason, the IP address gets reset. You can take a look at it right here. It's wf.harringtonlc.org. And so that works. Every single computer that you see this on, that's what you need to put in there. You just click on OK, and then it brings up the user ID and PIN. We have two user IDs. One of them is the one that Melissa or Melissa is my assistant at the moment, normally use. So the login that you're always going to use is FPC2, and then the PIN is Dillard. Now that works for FPC1 and FPC2, so for whatever reason you ever need to log into FPC1, it's the same PIN or the same password. And if you forget it, just remember that this is actually called the James W. Dillard Library. So if you can remember the name of the library, you should be able to remember the name of the PIN. Okay? So this is a slow program. As you can see, it takes a little bit to boot up. So there are alternatives to looking up what we've got on the shelf, and I'll go over that in another very exciting video that you'll get to watch. But Workflows is what we have to use if we want to check something out, check something back in, do inventory, and it's very important that you remember to do all those things or else we won't know what's on the shelf. So whenever you log in, this is what it's going to look like. And there's a bunch of different stuff that you can use over here on the left-hand side of the screen, but underneath common tasks, that's 99% of what you're going to use this for. Okay, so very rarely, with the exception of maybe getting somebody a library card, will you ever have to use anything else. So let's say the most basic function, right? We check books out to people, okay? If somebody brings a book up to you and says, hey, I want to check this out, you click on, obviously, the checkout, okay? And every single time you click on something, it's going to bring up this property screen. All you have to do every single time is click OK. You don't have to change anything on the property screen. And so the checkout brings up something like this. Now, we have user IDs and we have identify items. All the digits are 13-digit numbers. If you look on the back of somebody's library card or you look in the back of the book, there should be a little barcode, and underneath it is 13 digits. It all starts with 1 or 13, okay? So if somebody has a library card from either us or anywhere in the Harrington Library Consortium, and there's 130 libraries, so if they're from the Panhandle originally, they're probably in the system somewhere. But if you're not sure, okay, you can click on, right up here we have some more options, little pictures and stuff, and the first one is a user search. So if they don't have their library card, or they don't want to get it out or whatever the case is, okay, you can look somebody up. And so let's look me up. And hey, look, there's me. And if you're not sure, see this little user ID thing, you can click on it and it'll bring up all their information. Their profile name, they're a Frank Phillips College faculty user, well that's right, and all this different kind of thing. So, okay, so we were able to do that, and now you have to be careful and make sure, remember, 130 libraries, there are a lot of people in the system that have the same name, so make sure, check their birthday, check their driver's license number. There should be some identifiable information to let you know that that's the person that wants to check the book out, okay? And so we still have all these other options. Now, if they bring you a book, there should be an item ID in it, or it's not one of ours. But so you can type that in. If you have a scanner, you can just scan it in. But if for whatever reason, like now, see, I'm sitting in the middle of a room with no book, okay, you can look up an item search. And you can look up, by title, by author, anything like that. And as you can see, I mentioned that it's a slow program. It either froze or there it goes. Okay. And so you can check out an item by looking at it that way. So see, here are all the options to search for. Most of the time, if they know the name of the book, then you just click on title. But look here at library, okay? These are all the libraries that are in the Harrington Library Consortium. You can see there's a ton of them. If you're looking for something that's on our shelves, right, make sure that you have Frank Phillips College. And then, let's see, all right, let's look for War and Peace. I think we have that on the shelf somewhere. And so you just search for it, and, well, that's not exactly what we were looking for. It's everything with War and Peace in it, okay? And so it doesn't really matter. You can just sift through here and see what exactly we have and what we want to check out to the patron, okay? And those kind of things. And as you can see, I'm still trying to scroll down. Very slow thing, but there you go. That's what I was looking for, right? By Tolstoy, we got War and Peace, okay? And then it tells you whether or not something's checked out, whether it's lost. You can see that one is. Okay. This one's in the rare books, which you're not supposed to check out to people, okay? So, oh, here's another one. Here's a 1938 version. Hey, look, those are in the rare too. Hey, here's one from 62. Maybe we can check that one out. Hey, there it is. All right. So if you want to check that out, okay, you just click on, right, and it tells you who else has got it down here. You can see that Amarillo ISD, APL is the Amarillo Public Library, the East Branch, the Southwest Branch. Perryton's got a copy. But in that case, we want the FPC copy. You can double check, make sure that's the right item ID when the user brings the book up to you. Click on Checkout Item. Okay, and so down here it says how many checkouts you have, when the due date is. Now you'll notice that you can click on that and it will tell you all that information. This is actually March, so you can see I get 6 months because apparently I'm special, but it's because I'm entered in here as an FPC faculty member. Regular users, if they're not faculty, get 2 weeks, so it should say that, but just let them know somewhere, write it on a sticky note. I usually put it on the back of my business cards. You won't have that, but feel free to put them on the back of my business cards, you know, take some off my desk or whatever. So, okay, that's how you check something out. Now, we did that the hard way. Remember, most of the time all you're going to have to do is either scan in their user ID on the back of their library card and then the item ID in the back of the book, or you'll 10 key it in. So if you have to search, now you know how to do it. Okay, now the next one, how to check back in a book. Somebody brings it back to you and you want to check it in. That's far easier. Okay. Remember, every time you click on something, just click OK from the set properties. Anytime you want to check a book back in, very, very easy to do. You just scan it and that's it. And it'll tell you where it's supposed to go and all that kind of stuff. But if, once again, you don't have it, you can look for an item search. And we can search for War and Peace. That's what I just checked out. Or, look, the last thing that you did, whether you entered, whether it was a user or whether it was a item ID number, will be down here under the current. And remember, that was the last item ID that we just checked. So War and Peace, we can click on it there, and it will check it back in for us. Okay. And so we can make sure that that's the right one. See, now, remember, before it said fiction, fiction, now it says fiction, checked out. Okay? Well, it was charged to me. Well, I'm going to discharge the item. I'm going to check it back in. Click on discharge. And then it takes us back to this screen, and okay, well, that was it. There was the item ID, and where do you take it to? Well, you take it to the fiction section, or the non-fiction, you know. Most bigger libraries have a bunch of sections. We have basically fiction and nonfiction, and I guess the rare section. So that's pretty much it. That's really all you have to do to check out and check in items. This is already far too long of a video, so I'll put together the other odds and ends that you probably need to know in a separate one. So I kept it under 10 minutes. Hopefully you can remember this. Really not that hard. Workflows. Slow program, but if you get in, play with it, it's not too bad. Anyways, appreciate your attention, and I'll talk to you in the next video. We'll see you.